What's up, guys? My name is Justin. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back for a global challenge in the Kia, and we're just going to roll the intro right while we're getting on the grid here because unfortunately this is going to be the most boring iRacing video that's ever been on this channel, even more so than the Mustang VIR video that was from a couple months back or several months back, my first victory there, because we're the only Kia here today in a field of 8. I don't know why Canadian Tire has been so unpopular this week. It's been insane, actually, how few races have gone official and how many haven't split and how many have, single-digit cars and whatnot. So, not sure why that is. Pretty sad because it's a great track and it's really great in these two cars. And you already saw how great my Cadillac race was. This is probably the best Cadillac race I've had in a really long time, and obviously had a good result and it was a lot of fun. So, if you haven't seen that, go watch that one. But unfortunately, this one's going to be just awful and boring. So. But regardless, I still would appreciate if you drop a like and show some support for it because I still like driving the car, and it'll just be a nice glorified 25-minute test session, hopefully with a nice 0x. And I'll get to talk and tell some different stories, stuff that just comes to mind, which is always different and fun. Love doing that. Love doing that when I play other games too. So yeah, I guess this will just be a race. I have to do this one, unfortunately. I've been waiting for an actual good Kia race that I could make all week. It's Thursday now. We just finished that K5 race from last week at South Boston. And I'm going to be at Road America this weekend with my mom for IMSA, so unfortunately I can't do that. I can't do another time slot before I leave for that because I have to get in one of the time slots for the MX500 this weekend at Martinsville. And this guy is insane. And I also have to get my window tint change tomorrow, so that's why I can't just come home and immediately do one of those either. So I knew that since this one was actually going official, I had to do it, and it just kind of sucks that I'm the only Kia. I was hoping at least there'd be one more, so even if it was a garbage one, I'd at least have someone to race with and not be bored out of my mind. But gonna be just me, so we'll rock with it. Hopefully it's fun, but not gonna be a very interesting or any entertaining race. So, but that happens; those happen sometimes. So hopefully it's still an interesting race. I'll try to just make it through. Obviously with 0x, Carl specifically told me not to start up with the Cadillac, so I figured since there are literally 7 of them, I can just back out completely if I have to and stop essentially. So we'll see how it goes. Probably bite me in the ass because I'm dumb and stuff like that happens to me. That's dumb. So we'll see how it goes, but let's get to it. So I apologize. This is going to be a little bit of a mundane one, but hopefully you still enjoy it. So I appreciate it all as always. Let's get to it. It shall still be comfortably faster than me. It's not even close. I mean, at the very least, they should be fast enough on the straights to get away. So even if there are some mistakes or whatnot, it should not be close competition. So let's take it nice and easy. Walter's going to run away with this one at the front. He's pretty good. Not quite the same level as me usually, but pretty good. Good enough. So hopefully he is a nice clean race at the front. Hopefully everybody can just have a nice clean 0x race. That would be awesome and rare for the series especially. So yeah, I think this is going to be a Wednesday video, so I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday right at the start of August. Again, we'll keep clicking along good content, hopefully. I think tomorrow is going to be, I don't know what tomorrow's going to be. Maybe it's going to be PCC. I'm not sure yet, but my schedule this upcoming week for recording, God, that guy's blinking like crazy, Adam. My recording schedule for next week is going to be a little bit different because, like I said, I'm going to Road America this weekend. So I have to get all my recording for that stuff done ahead of time. You've already seen, I think, all the videos that I recorded for this week. This is the last one that's going to post, after the MX500, after everything else. It's going to be the last one that posts for that, and then next week on Tuesday when I'd normally run PCC with Bob and with Ethan and some other people, I'm going to be at WIR for the Dixieland 250 with Coy. So it'd be good to see Coy. Haven't seen him in quite a while. Since I guess last time I was in Green Bay and saw him there, so probably about 8, 9, 10 months, somewhere in that range. So it'd be good to see Coy hopefully for a little bit, see some other racing friends from the Wisconsin short track scene, which will be cool. I haven't seen the official entry list yet. I assume that all the usual Majeskis and all those type of guys will be there. Maybe some Cup superstars too. Who knows? Especially with this Olympic break, we got a couple weeks here. There's probably going to be a couple more NASCAR stars. Hopefully Johnny Sauter makes it, and hopefully he crashes immediately, blows a motor, or gets a flat tire or something, and finishes last. So Yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna be cruising here today at CTMP because apparently we are basically the same speed as the 7 car, which I'll say it again. I always say I don't care if you're out here and you're clean and respectful and understand your position and you're just making laps to learn, or hell, if you're run at the back but you still just enjoy that and have fun racing, even though you're, frankly bad and not racing anybody. If you enjoy that and you're being respectful and safe to those around you, all the power to you. There's no fault in that. There's nothing wrong with being slow. It's not illegal. So any of you that think otherwise, check yourself in the mirror, because A, there's almost always going to be someone faster than you, and B, you're wrong. So if someone's slow, as long as they're being safe and respectful and courteous and conscientious of what's going on around them, there's nothing wrong with that. Even though it's the pain sometimes to get past them, there's nothing wrong with that. So keep that in mind. But again, we're just kind of cruising here. There's no point in us racing anybody for any reason. Not going anywhere, not finding any pace, because we're not racing anybody, so even if we were, it's irrelevant. So just hanging out, running laps. We'll have a nice conversation about life here today. So this will be kind of a therapy drive. So I need to spend more time getting back into asking more questions and comments and stuff and interacting with you guys more. You all do an unbelievable job of interacting on these videos. All the likes, all the good comments, encouraging me and congratulating me for good results, and talking about other stuff that we talk about. And I just really enjoy the community that I've got, the support I get, and the cool conversations I get to have with so many of you, so thank you. But maybe today's question will be, I've done a couple of therapy drives in my Camaro in the past, and not called them that, but just, POV drives around the city, at day, night, highway, in town, whatever, just drives in my car, because I love my Camaro, and, it's a good chance to take a in-person video and do some stuff with that. But should I do more therapy drives? One of my favorite YouTubers is Tedward Tom. He's unbelievable guy, really down-to-earth guy, smart guy, and entertaining guy, and he has some great car vids. And one of his things that he does that I really love are therapy drives. He has like a late 80s Porsche Targa or convertible or something, an E39 M5 he had an E92 M3. He has one of those big Lexus SUV things. So he has quite the interesting fleet of cars, which is really cool. But he does therapy drives, right? And it's just like, let's talk about life. Let's talk about his life, the world around us, the economy, the car world, the future of car, all these things that are unbelievable content videos. So, it's one of those things where I love doing that. I love that I get to talk and interact. And again, this is a perfect race and a perfect day to just chill and talk about life and talk about stuff and not take it super seriously. I mean, I don't take myself too seriously, especially in sim racing, but at the same time, I know I'm talented, to some extent. I know I'm a competitor and want to run well and find victories, as much as I possibly can, as often as possible. And I've been pretty successful at that, especially the last 5, 6, 7 years. But it's still good just to have a nice relaxing drive like this, where I don't have to go super try hard and shut up and focus or anything like that. We're going to get the same result regardless. We're not going anywhere. We're not racing anybody, so that's part of it. But so let me know. I guess the long version is, let me know if you want to see more therapy drives, stuff like that on my channel. I've tried to branch out a little bit with some of the Camaro content, track day prep stuff that I'm still working on. But let me know. Let me know if you want to see. I guess we could do that in the sim either. We could do, more sim, more casual stuff, more pickup cup and carb cup, where I just have fun with the guys, get some friends together, talk about whatever, shoot the shit, have some fun, talk about real life, be real. How much realism do you want to see out of me in that regard? So again, I don't mind if it's on the sim or if it's a Camaro content thing, or I can borrow some of my buddies' cars, or whether or not they're interesting cars. I mean, I could go borrow my mom's 2012 Camry with 100,000 miles and just drive that around town and make a nice video about just chilling about life and talking about where I live and how my life is and why I'm so passionate about cars and about race cars. I don't care. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see some more different kinds of videos with some more natural realism stuff on my end as far as therapy drives and just more fun casual stuff like that. Or let me know what's up. I'm still working with Spencer and Steven's helping me out some. I'm sure I'm missing a couple people that are helping me out to try to get Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 up. And, no, not Hot Pursuit 2, excuse me. I already played that. Go watch that. Good playthrough, Hot Pursuit 2. But I'm trying to get Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed, up and running. It's been in the plans for a long time, but it's really complicated to get a game that's from 2000 to be up and running on any system, much less something that I'm going to record and have actually work. I'm optimistic and hopeful I can do it because it's been done. It's just I'm not technically smart enough to figure it out, and so I need people to basically do it for me. It's not even a help me figure it out type of thing. It's I don't know, so you have to do it for me, and I'll just play it essentially. So I'm eternally grateful. Spencer had a big part, and my brother Ryan also had a big part in getting Dirt to Daytona and Hot Pursuit 2 working. So big thanks to my brother and to Spencer for helping me with that. But it's a little bit more difficult proving to get Need for Speed PU Porsche Unleashed up, just because it's again an older game on a different system, and it's not like I can just use PSX2 because it was not a PS2 game. So it's proving to be a little bit more difficult, but I still am confident that we'll get that up at some point. Basically, with the end of Dirt to Daytona this past week, that was the last episode, unfortunately. With the end of that, don't really have any Saturday videos anymore for the first time in like 2 years. I don't have anything that's going to be kind of a different game, Saturday fun game, so I'll try to fit more iRacing stuff in if I can. It's in the plans, but again, it's not quite always that simple. But if I don't have any iRacing stuff, I'm going to get too repetitive with some of my content, which I don't really want to do. So I'd like to get that up in the next couple of weeks. I have a really busy August and September and October coming up for a variety of reasons, but I'd really like to get PU up and going, because it's probably going to be, I'm just trying to think this through here, there's like several steps, I guess, of the test driver mode. I'm going to play the PC version just because it's superior, and it's what I grew up with, same as what I did with some of the other stuff. So it's a really good game. I really like the PC version of Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed. It's quite different from the PlayStation version, but it's a great game. There are a couple different levels of like test driver or whatever they want to call it, which is a really cool mode. Wasn't my favorite mode when I was growing up, but it's a different mode. It's a cool mode, and I'm excited to do that. And then there's like a total of 40 championships or something, so some of those will take a while, some of them will be really fast, but I'll get to spend some good time, again, being a little bit more relaxed than I am on iRacing, just because it doesn't matter, it's just me playing it. I'll get to talk about some of the cars that were my favorite growing up, some of the ones I still like today, stuff like that. And it'll be a nice, relaxing, kind of trip down memory lane for me, and I can, again, talk about cars I enjoy and my nostalgia for that game, because, again, those of you that haven't watched the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 playthrough, again, first of all, I highly recommend it. It was really fun to do, and it's if it's a game that you are nostalgic about, it was a good game to go back and play and do all the races and talk about. And although I had a ton of technical difficulties recording it, it ended up being really fun. It was a great game to play, so go watch that if you have any care about Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. But it was really good to play that game, and again, I'll get to hopefully do the same thing with Porsche Unleashed and just talk about it, because that game, like I was saying, I talked about this before. My cousin Chris, whose wedding I'm going to be in September, which is part of why September is so freaking busy for me. When I was like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, somewhere in that range, he gifted me his set of early Need for Speed games that he'd gotten, which was Need for Speed 2 SE, which was a little bit too old for my taste. It was just, very, early generation graphics, and, looked a little bit, more Minecraft-y, blocky than what the other games were, and the other ones were High Stakes, Porsche Unleashed, and Hot Pursuit 2. Kind of came out in that order, the 3rd, 4th, 5th games of the Need for Speed franchise at that time, or whatever they are, 3rd, 4th, and 6th, or whatever they are. But anyways, so super fun game. Really loved all those games. Played the absolute snot out of them. I mean, I'm trying to think, but I played some good Need for Speed 2 SE, but not nearly as much as High Stakes, and I didn't play High Stakes nearly as much as I played Porsche Unleashed and Hot Pursuit 2 for sure on the PC. So that was kind of my introduction to cars, and then after that I kind of got into, the underground Need for Speed games. And then I played a lot of, what did I play after that? I played some Midnight Club. I played a lot of Midnight Club, and then I got into Forza 4 when I was, how old was I when I got into Forza 4? I must have been 14. And then my first, foray into real league racing and racing real people was in Forza 4, and then after about a year and a half of doing that, I got into iRacing in 2013 when I was 15 and a half. So it's kind of been like that since then. But anyways, back to Porsche Unleashed. That's one, I'd say the 2 games, but definitely the 3 or 4 games that got me into, cars and racing games. Like, I have always loved cars. I don't have an explanation for it, why or how it came to be or anything like that, but just check the time. We're about halfway, so doing good. See, good therapy drive, good talk about cars and my past gaming life and so on. But anyways, that game, like, they got me into race cars and racing games, and I talked about when I played through Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, like, to this day, I have, nostalgic dream car vibes around the Diablo 6.0, the C5 Z06, and the Jaguar XKR. And they came from that game. They came from Hot Pursuit 2. I've never, until recently, I'd never driven any of those cars. Obviously, I've never driven a Diablo 6.0. They're like $600,000 or $700,000 cars now. There's not a chance in hell. But, I've always said money no object. I would buy a Diablo 6.0 in like purple or in some cool color from that game, not because I want the car or anything. I just literally keep it as a piece of art, as like a tribute to look back at how far I've come with my love of cars in the last 20 years. So this guy get up to speed, just nice and patient around them. But yeah, I mean those cars symbolize me starting to love racing games and loving performance cars. I've always, recognized cars. My parents tell stories from when I was a really little kid, about we'd be going down the highway and I would be 2 or 3 years old pointing out the cars around us on the highway, and they were like, what in the hell is up with this kid that he can name and watch all these cars and, just have a feeling like that. All right, we got to speed up a little bit here, Adam, just a little bit. But yeah, like from a young age, like from birth, I've been all about cars. Don't know why, because none of my family really is. Certainly neither of my parents are. I mean, my mom likes cars. She likes to drive fast and enjoy it, but my dad definitely is not. He could not care any less. In my book I've written, I'm still working on finishing up publishing, so hopefully I'll have updates on that as well. But in my book, one of my opening stanzas, like thanking my parents and how great parents they've been to me, I talk about how it's funny that I love cars so much, and my dad, a Sesto Elemento and a Civic are the same to him, is always the joke I make. But yeah, like my love of cars in a performance standpoint and driving comes from those Need for Speed games. And so again, having played Hot Pursuit 2 for the channel again, to go back through and play that, I did not play the PC version of that just because it's so much easier to find the PS2 version. And I mean, objectively, it's a better version. It's not the one I originally played growing up, but I did eventually play the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 PS2 version, years later, and it's great too. And I played all the way through that, and then played it for the channel on PCSX, which was awesome. But getting to go back then, and I've wanted for a long time. The only other game I wanted to really, really play after Hot Pursuit 2 and Dirt Daytona was Porsche Unleashed, and I always knew that would be the most difficult one, and it'd be hard for me especially to make it work. So I'm thankful I have great friends that have helped me to learn technology at least enough to make the thing start up when I want to play it. So anyways, that was a very long-winded, like 6 or 7 minute response as to what I hope to have happen and how I hope it to have it go. So that would be really cool to get that up and running and get some of those episodes out on Saturdays. That's the goal, at least in the long term, or maybe the medium term. I mean, it's not going to happen immediately. It's going to take some time and some creativity and definitely some help to get everything sorted out and working correctly. But it's in the plans. It's in the cards. It's not going to be glossed over. So it's one of those deals where, just back up from Walter here. One of those deals where it's going to just be something that happens when I get to happen. But once I can get up and running, I bet you I will run the hell out of it and record as much as I can. Because again, it's probably going to be 40 to 45 part episodes, whatever you want to call it, which is awesome. It's going to be great. Some of them, will be really short at the beginning. Some of them will be pretty long towards the end. But it takes a lot of time, and it took me a long time, like over a year, to record Dirt Daytona. It took me like 7 or 8 months with some technical difficulties to record Hot Pursuit 2, so it takes a long time, and it's a lot of recording hours, but I'd love to do it. I mean, I spend that time on iRacing anyways, practicing. I don't record everything I do in iRacing, obviously, but, with the practice and set building and testing and all the other things I do on the sim, like, I spend that much time racing because it's my main hobby. This is my only serious, consistent hobby. I mean, obviously I do track days in my car and stuff, but I don't do that regularly, consistently. That's a between 2 and 4 day a year thing, track days. So yeah, it'll be great to get that up and running and get that working. But again, let me know, speaking, kind of tying this back around full circle, since we only have like 9 minutes left. We've been talking for quite a while already, but yeah, I mean, let me know if you want to see other different games, racing games. I'd like to keep it racing games. I'm really a racing game guy. I don't have a lot of interest in playing shooter games or FPS games or anything like that. The only other thing I'd consider playing was like the new NCAA game, or a 2K game, or a basketball. I play basketball, love basketball, and I enjoy other sports games like that, MLB games and stuff. But I'm just not good at them, and so it makes it hard to play it, and have fun, and be enjoyable, other than purely nostalgia. Even though I'm not that good. And I'd just, I'd get tired of playing MLB, so I'd just rig it and get myself the best players and see how many games we can win. And that's not fun. That's not really the point. So, but yeah, let me know if you want to see other racing games. Again, let me know what. Some of you I know the answer, but let me know what your dream cars, your historic cars are, the games you played growing up. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see or want to have a discussion with that. Some of that I know, some of you that are like in my Discord that I talk to or know regularly or know in person, I know, excuse me, what some of your dream cars are and how you got to become a racing fan, how you got into iRacing or into cars or whatever. I know that, so that's cool, but I still want to hear it down below. I mean, tell me kind of the cars that got you into cars, essentially, if you're into cars, which I assume you are if you're here. But I love hearing that stuff. I love having discussions about it, so really enjoy that. So that's kind of what's up on the horizon. But again, let me know if you want to see more therapy drives in the Camaro. What else can we talk about? iRacing's been going really, really well lately. I'm just trying to think. Other than the 24 hours of Spa, where I lost some iRating, just because of how enduros go. C-Fixed, I lost 62 iRating a couple weeks ago now. At Daytona, that was pretty bad. And Supercars, I lost. I think I lost 10 iRating for 10th in that Supercars race at Road America several weeks ago now. And I lost a good chunk of iRating, literally the very first race of the season, way back about 2 months ago in the street stock at Charlotte. And I think those might be the only races I've lost iRating in this entire season. I've had a bunch of top fives, great results. Even stuff like rally cars at Nürburgring for Ringmeister, snuck a top 5 out of that. So I've had like probably 80% podiums this season, which is awesome, and I'm so thankful and so proud of that. So the iRacing part of this is going really, really well. Hopefully we can finish this last month of the season out with some more good races and some good results. Still to be determined kind of what I want to do next season. I have some different goals in mind. I'd like to try to win a few more new series to me that I haven't won in yet, and a couple different cars and stuff I want to explore and try out. I need to get back into Be Open for sure for some more oval content, because I know I've been lacking with that lately. Especially since I'll have more time over the winter for some of that. Won't be weekly, but I want to do, a couple weeks here and there at least, not just literally Darlington. So that's on the horizon. I'm going to try to get back into that, spend more time doing that. What else is upcoming? I'm trying to get to some different iRacing license levels that I haven't ever really reached before. So, like, I want to really badly, I want to get to, let this guy go again here. We got a nice gap. I want to get to 3K Formula Car through the USF probably is what I'm going to do, just because it is a fun car. I know I've ragged on it that the racing standards are crap, but when I put a lot of that time into Mid-Ohio, it took a lot of seat time for me to be comfortable. It took, hundreds of laps, literally more than hundreds of laps for me to get up to speed and comfortable around Mid-Ohio. But when I did and I found the right splits, cleaner, smaller splits, which I don't mind racing in, I don't mind racing late, being in different, smaller, cleaner splits. It wasn't too bad, and I was semi-competitive, so that might be the move. I'm not going to chase points or try to, proclaim myself as some great formula racer. I know that open wheel cars and dirt are my weaknesses on the sim for sure, bar none. So I'd like to race a little bit more USF at some of the, non-scary, shitty draft tracks, some of those different tracks. Try to get up to 3K. We only need about 250 already to get there, so it shouldn't take too terribly long, maybe 15 or 20 races total over, maybe a couple seasons probably. So in the next couple seasons, I'd like to get there. It won't be, in 3 weeks or anything crazy like sports cars have been. But speaking of sports car, obviously we're not going to get any iRating out of this. Obviously all 5 of my licenses are right back at a 4.99 right now, which I'm super proud of, to have that back for the second time again after some more craziness and some more death. And I'm just not paying attention, shifting too many times, but I digress. But we're not going to get any iRating from this, but we've been on a crazy charge. Like I said, all those podium finishes and pretty much everything that we've run first or second, I'd bet. Like, I don't remember how many races I've done this year, maybe 55, or this season, excuse me, maybe 50 or 55. I probably have 40 top 2 finishes, which is crazy. It's absolutely insane. But with that, the sports car license specifically, I've gone up like 600 iRating this season already in 8 weeks, something like that. It's been a lot. It's been crazy. We've had some unbelievable results, some great races, some good luck at times, but the results have been spectacular, so that's been really cool. Again, I'd like to get up over 4K here in the not so distant future, but at end goal I'd like to get up to 5K, just because I always got a lot of slack that, you know, my 6K on the main was from Solstice, which is true. I mean, it was Solstice was my primary car, and I was very, very, very good at it, and I was arguably better than anybody on the sim, and probably not so arguably, but, you know, you still got to have the discussion about being the best Solstice driver on the sim from America, which is pretty damn cool. I was really proud of that when I was in my full Solstice peak. But now that car doesn't exist, you know, I've raced a lot of different stuff over the last year, just trying to get that iRacing all-time record of most series participated in. Back in season 1, I dropped down to like the 1.7, 1.8K range, just racing stuff I'd literally never driven before or never raced seriously, and just trying to check one off and race it. Had a lot of bad races, had a lot of rough results, but it was just part of a bigger quest to try to get me reset in iRacing, and so I've had a long way to climb back up, and I said I'd get to 4K relatively easily. It's not going to be easy by any means, but, you know, it's not going to take too terribly long to get there at this point. And I really want to get up over 5K sports car just to prove that, you know, I know I'm still going to be running cars I enjoy, Cadillac, Kia, stock cars on road courses, PCC Mustang, etc. You know, not just racing a huge variety of cars, but at the same time, I want to prove that I wasn't just a one-car pony. I mean, I know I wasn't. Maybe at a 6K level I was, but, you know, I'd really like to get to 5K if I can, racing, you know, a handful of different more cars than I used to race for sure, because that would be the ultimate sign that I do know what I'm doing, and I do enjoy a wide variety of cars, not just the one that I was really good at. So that's the goal for long term. Again, I'd like to try to get 4K Rallycross as well. That'll take some time because I don't race a whole lot of that. I'd like to get 6K Road because I've never done that, or 6K Oval, excuse me. I've never done that. I never got above about 5,700 and some change on the main. I've never been above about 5,600 on the alt here, so I'd like to do that at some point. Click over that mark for the first time. 5769 is where the main ended up after that last Solstice race when I retired that account. And I've never been above that. I've gotten close a few times on here, but never quite up in that 5,700 range. So that's something I'd like to do. Again, that takes a lot of time. I'd have to get back in the V Open to make that happen. So who knows? We'll see maybe someday. But that's kind of like the long-term goals for this. So we'll see how much of that happens, how long. Again, I know I say this all the time, but how long I end up doing this sim racing thing for. Just, you know, life changes, stuff happens, and I definitely have different interests now than I did when I first started iRacing 11 years ago, and even then, you know, a couple of years ago, my interests are different outside of the sim, even though I'm still super passionate about the sim inside it. I'd still put the same amount of time and love and dedication that I always have. Just everything else around has changed, which is how life goes. So who knows? We'll see. I think we're coming to get the white flag here, though, which is going to be great. Finally be on the last lap of this. We are indeed. So one to go. So please sponsor me, Credit One Bank, but one more nice, chill, easy lap here in the most boring race of all time around Canadian Tire. But I do appreciate you, those of you that are sticking around and have watched all the way through this. And again, drop me some likes and comments down below of all the stuff we talked about. You know, therapy drives. Tell me about your favorite cars, your favorite racing games, this that got you into cars. Tell me what you want me to try to play at different times here for the channel that's not iRacing. Let me know all that stuff down below. So again, those of you that have made it this far, really, really appreciate you all. I really appreciate all the support. It's been wonderful to see how much great positive reception I've gotten from the stuff lately and the growth of the channel. And again, I'm still doing this for me. I'm doing it because I enjoy it. And, you know, it's fun to do, and it's kind of cool to get to record stuff. So I don't care if nobody cares or watches. I'm still going to do it. But it's such a blessing and such a privilege that so many of you are interested in this and care about and enjoy seeing me race and talk and record stuff. So, yeah. That's that. I can't really think of anything else to think. I'll probably wrap this up really quickly. No point in looking at the results because, again, it's just me. There's not going to be any I-rating gain or safety rating gain or anything, so we're already maxed out. So, yeah, I'll probably just wrap this up pretty much immediately. So, yeah, I appreciate y'all coming along for the ride. Sorry this was like the most boring race in the history of my channel, and certainly the most boring Kia race ever because there's only 7 Cadillacs and we didn't even see many of them. We did follow that one guy for a while, though, so... yeah, final corner, we'll come around. Barney, thanks for telling me Tyler that his name is Barney. Barney, we'll see here. Come take the checkered flag. And I guess technically that's another win. It's not a glamorous win by any means, but a win's a win. So we've got to win it. We'll pull off here, and that'll be that. So yeah, we'll see how many incidents some of those guys have. We'll plug the YouTube one more time so I don't forget, even though this is, again, the most boring race ever. If my damn mouse would work. So yeah, I mean, a field of 8, yet somehow we were dealing 0x and one dude got disqualified. So that's pretty sad and impressive, Mr. Hodges, to get disqualified. So looks like it might have been post race though, because he did finish fifth. So yeah, Walter takes an easy victory as I predicted. Zachary also on the last lap went up, I guess, and passed Grant. Zachary, funny. Went up past Grant, ended up P2 just by like just over a tenth. So really close race there for second, which I guess is cool. We will take a 7th overall out of 8, first in class. Woohoo! Big celebration, and we'll call that a wrap. So again, appreciate all love and support. It means the world to me, and hopefully we'll get back to some more meaningful, closer, realistic, actual racing content. So not going to go look at results or anything. It's meaningless, but we'll call it right here. That's going to be it. Make sure you drop that like and a sub down below. Thank you all so much for coming. Sorry it was a boring race. We'll get back to the exciting stuff soon, but I still appreciate you all as always. Till next time, though, if this stupid ass thing would go away, if I don't know how to use it, but a little bit shorter key erase, so that's good. So till next time, bye.